Good evening, ladies. Sorry. We had a small technological hitch and we didn't start on time. We are really sorry, but happy to be live and to just connect once again. Please leave us your comments on the comment section. My name is Sophia. I work at Transformations. I'm married to whom they call the man, Baby, Simon Baby. Yeah, so I'm just here to share with us just a little bit story of how this COVID season has been. Yeah, so first of all, yeah, life came to an end. I think for me, life came to an end when the government shut because I run a school. Yeah, and we closed school on Friday and we were told we can't resume for 30 days. So at first there was a lot of confusion, mixed feelings, confusion, relief, pressure to give direction for what it is that we need to do next. And season I was one. I didn't know what exactly to do. There was a lot of panic, sleep. I don't know whether it was the shock of that the season came too early, but I was just very. All right, sorry, another technological hitch. We just had a blackout. So yeah, our internet connection. But hey, let's keep moving. So I was saying, and by the way, Simon is going to be coming on shortly to deliver part 2 of what he promised yesterday. But yeah, so I was saying that one of the big things that has changed for me is that I no longer have the help that I needed. I have children to manage who I normally don't have to manage because each one of them is engaged in school. So that has been a stressor. So one of the things, number one, I have just had to let go my expectations about how my house looks, and I'm like, okay, we clean when we have time. I think I was also expecting my children to sort of rise to the capacity of the person who helps me. But I also realized even them, they don't have that experience. So sort of just adjusting mentally and saying, there's nothing that is normal. And so it's frustrating to expect normalcy when you don't have the resources to actually put that normalcy in place. So I've sort of just relaxed. I've said, you know what? It's okay. If we can't clean today, let's clean tomorrow. The other thing that I have found is that I have learned to sort of just find my space where I get energized. And for me, after I have jogged once. The following day it rained, so I didn't get to jog. But I realized that just that morning exercise really gave me a lot of energy. I've had a lot of time to just pray and to meditate and to be quiet. I'm very introverted, so quiet spaces are very important for me. But mostly I've also tried to look for opportunities in this season also, so that I've said I don't want to remember this season as the one season where my house, for example, was untidy. I want to remember it as the one season where we made amazing memories with the children. So I'm training them in terms of doing housework. I am trying to schedule activities, trying to involve them in just things that help us. So I think for me, the biggest thing I'd say that has helped me in this season is to put away my expectations for the normal and to say it's an abnormal season. My children are also not in a normal space, and I've chosen not to fight with them, but rather to enjoy them in this season, and to also realize that just like my life has been disrupted, theirs too has been disrupted as well. Yeah, so we're having a holiday. I am enjoying it. When I need to stop, I stop. When I need to change plans, I become more open to changing plans at short notice. Yeah, and so I think big thing, flexible, be flexible. I've also found this as a season to reach out to people who are more vulnerable than I am, and sort of find a place to give them. This is a time when, especially in terms of resources, you want the natural instinct is to keep, to conserve. But I found opportunities to just give to other people who are more vulnerable, in a more vulnerable place than I am in. Yeah, so it's been a good season for me. I'm mentally at peace. I'm taking each day as it comes. I'm taking time to enjoy my husband, to enjoy my children, to enjoy being in my home, and to provide solutions for the people that I lead. So I pray that for you as moms, you will relax and you will understand that life cannot be what it used to be, but what is the best that you can make out of this situation. Yeah, so I hope that has been helpful, and I just want to invite Simon to come and take over from here. So see you. All the best. I pray that you have good memories of this season and that it will be an amazing one for you.
Well, thank you very much, Sophie. I really appreciate your story, just sharing some of the challenges, some of the ways that you've seen life positively. I just want to say again, we are sorry that we were just beginning to do this and then lights went out and we have had some issues. So it's really just one of those days. We apologize. But for the time remaining, I just want to quickly pick up from where Sophia said. She has said, of course, there's meant to be some stress during this time, but you need to take care of yourself as a lady. And I just want to share a few things very quickly. We'll try and make this very quick, so just pick a pen and paper. We've lost some time because of the power issue, but we will pick up something. So number one is just to realize stress. There's positive stress and there's negative stress. Positive stress is when you exercise and you feel some pain and later you're the better for it. Of course, negative stress is distress, is when a lot of things that are happening in your environment affect you negatively and you feel stressed. And you begin to react towards that, and that affects you in negative ways. And I just want to quickly go through that. You know, one of the things about ladies which is very positive as opposed to men is that as ladies, when you go through stress, what you tend to do is to reach out to other people and connect. And once you connect with other people, then it's easier. You get to nurture and you get to connect, which is very positive. Because as men, we don't do that. As men, we go into a cave and we begin to process what's going on. But for ladies, they reach out to others and they get to connect. So that's one of the self-care issues. Get to connect with others. And of course, Sophie said another care issue that you need just to relax and realize your house doesn't have to be in perfect order. You don't have to be in charge of everything. It's okay. In fact, one of the people have written something and said that some of the signs of stress are this. And I just want to say some of them right now. That many times when we go through stress, we find ourselves going through several things like irritability, finding yourself very irritable and just quickly snapping, something like that. And then sleeplessness, not sleeping enough, and you go to bed but you're not sleeping enough. You find yourself struggling with that. Eating issues, you know, some of us will either overeat and just find ourselves trying to eat a lot to find some comfort, or even not eating at all. That's something else which is negative that begins to happen. So you find yourself struggling with eating issues. Another thing that happens is we find ourselves either withdrawing and feeling isolated and not just having enough connection with other people. So some people do that. And of course, others will just get aggressive and will begin to attack and snap at people, or aggressively watch movies, or aggressively shop, or aggressively do something. So those are some of the indicators that you might be under stress. But right now, I want to very quickly talk about the 5 personalities that show up when we begin to manage our stress. Number 1 is the controllers. Now, please write this down so that you get to know which of these personalities are you. Number 1 is controllers, and this is what controllers do. They want to be in charge. They want to keep everything in and not even look like they're struggling at all. So they want to look like they're in control, and they're really not in control. And then once in a while, they just explode. The COVID situation has brought certain stresses. We are locked in, we're not going out and having the activities we're supposed to have. We're not meeting our girlfriends like we're supposed to be. And you just want to feel like, I'm still in control of this. I know it's hard, but I'm in control of it. That's one personality. It's when you always feel like you have a need to be right. Right towards your children, right towards everyone. You just want to feel like, I need to be right. I need to be right in parenting. I need to be right with my spouse. I need to be right with education. I need to, and helping the children with their education. You feel like you have to be right. Now that brings an issue because you are a controller at that point. Then we have the controllers also keep people at arm's length. You want to feel like, I don't want people coming near. I don't want people coming near. So you keep people at arm's length. And in a sense, you don't want people to come near your children or other people. Just want to look like you're in control. So you keep people at arm's length. Another one is fear of situations for controllers. They fear situations in which they're not in control. They begin to fear, I'm not in control of this COVID thing. I'm not in control of a possibility of people dying around me. And so you freak out because you don't know what to do with the situation where you're not in control. So you find yourself freaking out. Those are controllers. They often can be perfectionists because they want everything in order. They just want, they don't want kids to push things around. They want everything in order. And controllers can be perfectionists and snap when things are not perfect. Of course, controllers as well tend to be critical of people and circumstances. So they're quick to pick, why are you doing that? Why don't you sit down? Why are you not doing your homework? Why are you afraid? Why is this and that happening? So just being critical of people and the circumstances all the time. Those are controllers during situations like this. Another one is you usually find yourself insecure and shy sometimes, or temperamental. You feel like, because I'm not in control, then I want, you feel insecure. And because you're insecure, then you bring that out on your children or on other people because the insecurity shows up. Or you get very temperamental because you don't feel like you're in control. So controllers, all of you controllers out there, just wave at me. I know there's some of you that are controllers. What are some of the ways to prevent then stress for you as controllers? Number 1, lighten up. Let go. It's okay. No one is going to die if the house is not in order, if the shoes are on the couch. No one is going to die. It's okay. Just relax. It's never that serious. That's one way controllers need to manage stress. Number 2, it's okay for others to be in control. It's okay for government to be in control in terms of making us stay at home. It's okay for others to be in control. You don't have to be in control all the time. So just tap yourself at the back and say, girl, you don't have to be in control all the time. Tell yourself that. It's okay. Of course, you get to learn as a controller, true love trusts others. and let's go. Trust your spouse and let go. Trust your children and let it go. Of course, you're there to supervise them, but don't be there all the time to look over your shoulders or their shoulders to keep controlling them. True love lets go, and just realizing other people can take care of themselves. And lastly, if this is your personality to be a controller during this time, then address the root issues of it. Why are you like that? Is it because you had a controlling parent, or you had a father who was always doing everything for you, a mother like that? Where does it come from? Or a boss who is always controlling you or making sure everything is taken care of? Go to the root of it and address it so that you don't, find yourself having high blood pressure because you demand to be in control. So number one is control. Number two is pleasers. People please people all the time. I don't know about you, but I tend sometimes towards this. That I want to, please people. I want to be approved by other people. This is a direct opposite of controllers. So this is why you want everything to be smooth, to be okay, and you want everyone to be happy with you, your children, your spouse, your friends. You want everyone to be happy with you. Hey, by the way, that never works. You may try all you want, but someone will never be completely, you will not make everyone happy all the time. It doesn't matter what you do. You could try it and die trying, but you will never make everyone happy with you. This is why you find yourself very extremely sensitive to criticism. You don't want your spouse to criticize you, or the children to tell you, Mom, that food wasn't even good enough, or Mom, this and this, we don't like this kind of organization. You get to a point where you realize where the criticism is getting to you too much, and you need to protect yourself. So pleasers are extremely sensitive to criticism. Another thing is that when you're a pleaser, then you're afraid to speak up. You don't even want to tell your spouse, no, I cannot do that. Or your friends, no, I can't pick that up. Or your children, no, please don't watch TV. It's okay, now stop. You just feel like, I don't want to hurt them. I don't want to hurt their feelings, because you want to please them. And you just don't want to speak up for what you feel needs to happen. So you fear rejection. And in the process, you're trying everything to please people. Another one is you wear masks. As a pleaser, as a people pleaser, you wear masks. So inside, you just want to say, these kids, I feel like killing you, and that's just an exaggeration, of course. You don't want to kill them. You feel like that inside, but outward, you're saying, oh, come here, let me hug you, and smother them with love. But inside, you know that you need to tell them you can't sleep like this. That's a pleaser. You don't want to say the truth. You want to wear a mask and look like you're okay when you're not okay. Usually low self-esteem, so you don't want to be criticized, because that would kill you, is because of low self-esteem. You could be a perfectionist as well, from a people pleaser, where again, you want everything to go. Now, some stress prevention tips for people pleasers. Number one, learn to say no. Learn to say no. Otherwise, when you say yes to everyone, it's just too much. It's going to overwhelm you. It's going to make you sick. So learn to say no, and to be firm. Firm with the kids, firm with your spouse, firm with yourself, firm in telling yourself, I cannot watch any other episode of that series. I need to go and sleep. Just be firm. Learn how to be firm. That's one of the ways that people pleasers can survive during this season. Stop apologizing for every word or thought, or a little bit more salt, or some food that didn't come out well, or apologizing for the fact that you've told the children it's time to go and sleep. Stop doing that. You can apologize all the time for every little action. It's okay to be able to say, that's what I needed to do, and it's okay. So just realize, as a people pleaser, that love should have boundaries. And it's okay for you to have boundaries for yourself, for the children, and for other people during this season. Don't strive always to please people. All right, number 3. Number 1 is controllers. Number 2 is people pleasers. Number 3 is attention seekers or getters. Those who want attention. And what they say is, I only count when I'm noticed. that, I like to be in the limelight. And if I'm not in the limelight, then I'm not happy. And so right now, when you can't be at work to shine, or you can't shine with your children, or you can't shine with your girlfriends, you're just depressed because you like to be in the limelight. Usually, lastborns and firstborns have a tendency of wanting attention. They always want to be in the spotlight. Now, for attention getters, they celebrate. They celebrate themselves. They don't celebrate other people. They tend to be carrot seekers. They want to be rewarded all the time for what they have done. They want everybody to say, "Oh, that was great. Thank you very much." They want people to clap for you. Those are attention getters or seekers. And then attention getters or seekers are relatives to controllers. You're trying to control the situation so that you may get the attention that you need. Those are attention getters or seekers. If that's you, then here are a few tips. Number one, be sensitive and aware of others. Just realize you're not the only one in the room. You're not the only one who should be celebrated. It's okay for your children to shine. It's okay for your hubby to shine if he is there. It's okay for others to shine. You don't have to be in the limelight all the time. Just relax. Another one is celebrate others. One of the ways to deal with attention getting is to give attention to other people and say, "Oh, today we want to celebrate my firstborn. This is what she did today. Let's all clap hands for her and just say, wow, she's been great." So turn the spotlight on others and celebrate them. That's how you overcome your tendency to want attention all the time. And of course, lastly, look deep within and say, why is it I want attention all the time? Is it pride? Is it insecurity? What is it? Why am I doing this? And deal with that inside. Are you still with me? All right, the next one I'm about to finish is martyrs. Is those people want to die for everyone. They're like martyrs. They just want to die. I only count when I lose and I suffer and I get used on behalf of others. Are some of you like that, where you could do so much for others but never care about yourself, never self-care? You're willing to die for your children, you're willing to die for your spouse, you're willing to die for your girlfriend, you're willing to do everything for others and sacrifice yourself for others. By the way, you're not Jesus Christ. Just know that. That yes, you need to help others and work for others, but only one was willing to die for everyone, and that was enough. So don't try and die for your family. You have to take care of yourself so that tomorrow you'll be there to serve them and be there for them. Often these martyrs, they have this kind of self-image, very low self-image. They don't care much about themselves, so they want everyone to join in not caring about themselves. So if the children tell you, do that, you do it. Your hubby tells you, do that, you do it. You get your image from serving others and being lost in others. Not standing out in your identity. That's what martyrs get to do. They like to look for people to use them or even abuse them. Martyrs tend not to care much when others abuse them. In fact, they begin to blame themselves and say, it's really about me. It's not the children, it's really me. It's not my hubby, it's really me. It's not that people are there, they're out there, it's me. That's what martyrs think about. So they allow themselves to be misused and abused and overused because they don't have much value on who they are. Those are martyrs. They may come out of poor relationships with the opposite sex parent. So a lot of the people I've met who accommodate being misused and called names and abused, they had a relationship with their dad which was bad, and their dad always called them names, misused them, and it's okay. They get to put up with it because of what happened. Hey, martyrs. Again, you've got to fight for your life. You can't stay like that. You've got to put boundaries and fight for your freedom. You've got to build your self-esteem and stop comparing yourself with others and blaming yourself all the time. Because if you don't, you're going to find yourself dead very soon. You've got to realize you're your own worst enemy. You've got to stand up for yourself and realize you're valuable. And if you're valuable, then you cannot be treated like trash. You've got to stand for what you believe in about yourself. And lastly, don't enable other people. Don't be always there to bail out everyone. Even your children, don't bail them out all the time. Don't realize that they did not do the dishes, so you do them for them. They did not make their bed, so you make their bed for them. No, don't do that. It's actually bad for the children. So those are matters. Did I tell you 5 personalities? No. There are 4. And so those are the 4 personality types when it comes to managing stress. So take care of yourself by knowing what your personality is in relation to stress, and then help yourself. Number 1 is controllers. Relax. It's okay when you're not in control, and just deal with the internal motivation to be in control. Number 2 is people pleasers. You want to please everyone out there, those who can see you and those who cannot see you. Relax again and realize you can't please everyone, and it's okay to offend some people as long as you're standing for what is right and standing for yourself. You will never please everyone. Even Jesus did not please everyone. That's why they killed him, even though he was a good and perfect human being. Number 3 is attention getters and seekers. And we said you need to realize that other people deserve the spotlight as well. Number 4 is martyrs, and we've said you don't need to die for the world or for your children. Of course, be there to serve them sacrificially, but don't kill yourself just because you love them, by not allowing them to work and teaching them to stand up and do some of the things for themselves. Wow, that was a marathon. So I want to conclude right now because of time and give you a few stress management just clues. And I know you're doing some of these things. Number 1 is maintain a positive attitude. Tell yourself positive things. If I write on your journal every day during this coronavirus crisis and write positive things and say, I know it's hard right now. I know it's hard to be in the house, but this is what I celebrate. I celebrate that I have more time, maybe to relax, and have more time to be with my children, and have more time. Even though I was pulling hair earlier today, I'm happy that they're here and I could connect with them. Maintain a positive attitude. Number 2, accept what you're not in control of. And I say this in previous conversations. I love the serenity prayer. It says, God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. What I'm not in control of, I want to accept it and say it's okay. I'm not in control of lockdown. That's a government prerogative, and so I don't need to stress about that. So God grant me the serenity to accept things I cannot change, the courage to change things I can. So I need to get a courage to say, well, I can choose my attitude, so let me change it and make it positive. That one you can change. Being out there and playing with your girlfriends, that you cannot change. So accept what you cannot change, have the courage to change what you can, and of course the wisdom to know the difference. The other one is exercise. Of course, make sure you stretch and run around and run on the spot and skip. That's good for your body. And managing stress, eat healthy. Don't eat junk all the time. At least you're at home, you can cook healthy, have enough rest, and avoid substance abuse. The other one is emotions. Manage your emotions. Name your emotions, share them with others, and manage them. Even with your children, you could just tell them, hey, today I feel afraid, but I know things are going to be okay. What do you kids feel right now? So manage your emotions. Name them, share them with others, and of course, don't allow them to take over, to control you. Socialize with others. This is a good time on Zoom or other WhatsApp or other techniques on technology to connect with your girlfriends and laugh and just be happy. Be happy and make fun of the situation. Socialize with others, and of course, limit your exposure to stresses. Limit your exposure to stressors. If someone else is stressing you, or watching negative videos is stressing you, or watching what's going on in Italy or the US is stressing you, why watch? Why do you need to expose yourself to that? Just let other people watch it and protect yourself. Of course, pray. I know that taking care of your spirit strengthens you during this time is one of the ways to self-care. Pray, read some Psalms, and just ask God to take care of you. Build yourself spiritually, sing songs of worship, and enjoy yourself in the spirit. When your spirit is strong, then the rest of your body will line up. Of course, make sure your mind is not idle and just reading every text and every forward on social media. Engage yourself with good reading. I'm reading some books and engaging my mind in some writing, poetry and things like that. Maybe drawing, do things like that. And of course, leisure. Make sure, of course, you watch some movies here and there, and you watch your series, but not throughout the day, not 3 hours non-stop. Don't do that. Just make sure you take some time to relax and watch something that relaxes you. Don't watch something that stresses you. Like Sophie just doesn't like action movies because she gets stressed when that person is about to die, or they're about to divorce, or this and that is about to happen. No. You don't need to stress yourself. Look for movies that make you relax, whatever that is. Well, my last advice, as you care for yourself, in addition to what Sophie said earlier, live one day at a time. We cannot know what's going to happen in May or June. We really don't know. Completely, we cannot plan because we don't know what may happen with the COVID graph right now. It may go up or it may level out, and we're praying it levels out and goes down, but we cannot plan. So live one day at a time and celebrate and enjoy what you are in right now. Embrace hope. Just know that we have hope in God. That, this is not the end of the world yet, so there is hope. And lastly, count your blessings and name them one by one. I'll finish with this verse that I've read for other people. Do not be anxious about anything, but in everything by prayer with supplication and thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God. And the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your minds and hearts in Christ Jesus. Well, we are sorry again that we had some issues with technology, so it just took us a little longer and we lost some time, but I believe you've learned some things. Sophie began by just saying how she's managing and acknowledging the stress, but saying that we can relax and be able to deal with that. Then I came in, I've shared some personalities in how we manage stress and how we need just to allow ourselves to deal with our personalities, not to allow them to push us up the wall, and I talked about some ways to manage stress as well, and I said we need to pray. But before I pray for you and let you go, let me just say, as Transform Nations, we have different programs. We have Mothers of Sons, and we're going to be starting that online next week. We have Ezer, which is about femininity, and we have 8 topics we go through, and security, building your security is the number one thing we get to talk about. But later this week, or early next week, we're going to have an open day and talk more about each of those programs. But in case you're interested in any of those programs, whether it's for mothering or it's for femininity and hanging out with other girls and growing yourselves through the book that we have put together, please write that on the wall and let us know, and someone is going to get back to you. Well, thank you for listening. Let me pray first. Almighty God, we just want to pray for all the ladies out there and for the stresses that some of them are going through. Maybe some of them in abusive situations, and some of them have lost their jobs and it's very stressful right now. And Lord, you're encouraging us to take care of ourselves. We can only love others as much as we love ourselves. That's what you taught us. Love God with everything you've got, then love your neighbor as you love yourself. So we can only take care of others to the degree that we take care of ourselves. So we pray that you give us the wisdom, the grace, whatever our personality is, give us the grace to take care of ourselves, to build boundaries around ourselves, not to kill ourselves for others, but to be able to manage ourselves well and to talk with others around us and keep the connections so that we will be able to care for ourselves as we connect with others, and we may be able to share with our girlfriends all the struggles we we are going through and cry with them so that we will be okay to manage what our families and our situation. So I bless everyone out there, and I pray the peace of God that passes all human understanding will take care of you. God bless you in Jesus' name. Amen. Thank you again. Let us know what you think about what we have shared, and also let us know if you want to be involved in one of our programs. God bless you. Have a great evening.